Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be looking at the pet industry, and specifically how AI can be used to capitalize on the incredible growth that the industry is seeing. So we've got a company called Mindful AI Media Creations, and they have a platform called Business App Pro, or BAP.
Yeah, and we've also got some great insights from Philip Cooper. He's really a veteran of the pet care industry, and he's seen it change so much over the years. He's got these amazing stories about how things used to be and what he's seen work to make some companies really successful.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear all about that.
Yeah.
But first, what is driving this huge boom in the pet industry?
Well, we're seeing way more people getting pets than ever before, especially in places like the Midwest and Southwest. And it's not just a trend, it seems like a real shift in how people think about pets. But that means there's a way bigger market for pet businesses,
Yeah.
but also way more competition.
So how can businesses stand out? How can they connect with customers when it's so crowded?
Well, that's where Mindful AI Media Creations is interesting. They talk about empowering businesses through what they call mindful technology. And their platform, BAP, has all these tools that can help businesses run smoother, get people more interested, and really build those strong customer relationships.
It sounds like mindful AI really gets the importance of branding and marketing, especially for the pet industry. Their website really pushes that point. And speaking of branding, Philip Cooper has some really interesting things to say about how branding has changed in the industry.
Oh, absolutely. Cooper talks about how the early pet stores were so limited. He remembers when the only gravel they had for fish tanks was rainbow colored. Like, can you imagine? So that shows how much more variety and specialized products there are now.
Wow, only rainbow gravel. That is wild compared to all the choices we have now.
Yeah.
So how did the industry change from those limited options to the huge number of brands and products we have today?
Well, Cooper saw firsthand how companies like Hart's Mountain Bird Seed really took off. And he saw how important branding and clever marketing were to their success. They weren't just selling a product, they were creating an identity and building that emotional connection with people.
It's really amazing how those early brands set the stage for everything we see today. It's interesting that Cooper points out that a lot of those companies were started by people who were basically salespeople.
Exactly. They knew how to connect with people, how to build trust and a sense of community. That's still so important today, maybe even more now with everything being online, where it can be harder to make those personal connections.
That's a great point. It makes me wonder even more about Mindful AI and their platform BAP and how they can help pet businesses in today's world. So let's talk about some of the specific features BAP has. I'm really interested in the CRM and automated marketing. I feel like those could be huge for busy vets and pet suppliers.
Absolutely. BAP is designed to tackle those big challenges that pet businesses face. It takes what Cooper learned and combines it with the newest AI tech. For example, let's dig into how BAP can really change how businesses connect with their customers using CRM.
Okay, let's do it. I'm all ears.
BAP takes that idea of a CRM and bumps it up a notch, especially for pet businesses. So imagine tracking not just basic contact info, but all kinds of details about each pet, breed age, what they eat, appointments coming up, even their favorite treats.
That's so cool. It's like a personalized profile for every furry client.
Exactly. And having that level of detail lets you really personalize your interactions so it feels genuine and caring.
I can see how that would make a big impact, especially for pet owners who are really invested in their animal's health. It shows you're going above and beyond and that you really get them and their pet.
Right. And it all ties back to what Philip Cooper was talking about. The successful pet businesses, they weren't just selling stuff, they were building relationships. And that's what BIT helps you do, but on a much bigger scale.
And it's not just about individual clients, right? BAP can help with bigger marketing stuff too. Earlier you mentioned automated marketing. I'd love to hear more about that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. BAP takes the guesswork and the busy work out of marketing. It helps you reach the right people in a way that actually works and saves you time.
I'm all about saving time, especially when it comes to marketing. It can feel like a huge time suck. So how does BAP streamline things?
Well, think about all the routine stuff pet businesses have to send out. Appointment reminders, updates on vaccinations, even birthday messages to pets. BAP can automate all of that.
Wow. So it's like having a virtual assistant, taking care of all those little things. That frees up vets and pet suppliers to actually focus on caring for animals.
Exactly. And it's not just sending generic messages. BAP lets you divide your audience up based on certain things.
So you can send different messages to different pet owners, messages that are actually relevant to them.
Exactly. So, a vet could use BAP to send specific messages to people with new puppies, giving advice on house training and stuff. Or they could send reminders to cat owners about dental checkups.
It's like having a marketing team that gets all the different types of pet owners
Yeah,
and knows how to talk to each one. That's super powerful.
it is, and it plays into that bigger idea we talked about. You know how software is changing the game for businesses? Mark Andreessen, he's a big name in tech. He says software is leveling the playing field. It gives small businesses the tools to compete with the big guys. And BAP is a perfect example of that.
So it gives pet businesses of all sizes access to the same kind of advanced marketing
Yeah.
that only big companies used to be able to afford.
Right. And in an industry like pet care, where there's so much competition, that can make all the difference. But BAP also helps you manage your online reputation, which is so important these days.
Oh, absolutely. Online reviews can make or break you, especially in pet care where trust is everything. People want to know their furry friends are in good hands.
Yeah, and Philip Cooper actually talked about this too. He noticed how people could easily name brands like Hartskong and Tetra. Those companies put a lot of work into building a good reputation, and it paid off. Their names became like a guarantee of quality.
That makes sense. A good reputation is like a gold star in the pet industry. It takes time to earn, but it sets the best businesses apart.
And that's where BAP comes in. It gives you the tools to keep an eye on your online reviews and respond to them quickly, both good and bad. It builds trust and shows you're listening to what people are saying.
It's all about being open and showing you care what people think. But let's go back to how BAP helps pet businesses stand out and build those deeper connections with customers. We talked about CRM and automated marketing. What are some other ways BAP can help?
Well, remember what Cooper said about Kong and Tetra and how they marketed their products so well.
Oh, yeah. I'm curious how that ties into BAP.
What's interesting is that both Kong and Tetra really understood their customers, and they made marketing campaigns that really spoke to people. They didn't just talk about features. They tapped into the emotional side of owning a pet. The love, the companionship, the joy animals bring.
That's a good point. They knew that pet owners aren't just buying things. They're investing in a relationship with their pet and looking for ways to make that bond even stronger.
Exactly. And that's something BAP can help pet care businesses do today. Like, take it to the next level.
Okay, I'm hooked. Tell me how BAP can help businesses tap into those emotions, like Kong and Tetra did.
Well, that's where BAP's ability to make things personal really shines. Like, imagine a pet store using BAP to send emails to people who just got a new puppy. And the emails have tips on house training and socializing and feeding, all specific to the type of puppy they have. That's the kind of useful stuff that builds trust and makes people see the business as a helpful resource.
That's a great example. It's like a pet expert available 24/7, always there to help. For new pet owners who might be feeling lost, that could be a lifesaver.
Absolutely. And vets can use BAP the same way, like sending personalized messages after appointments, checking in on how the pet's doing, giving recovery tips, even suggesting products or services.
It's all about going the extra step, showing you really care, and making the pet owner feel like part of a community. Those little things can make all the difference. But it's hard to do that for a lot of people without the right tools.
Yeah, you're right. That's where automation comes in. BAP helps businesses give that personalized experience, but in a way that actually makes sense and can grow with them. But it's not just about information. Remember how Cooper said a lot of successful pet business owners were really good at sales? Well, BAP can help any pet care business get better at selling.
Okay, now I'm really interested. Tell me more about how BAP turns businesses into sales machines.
So BAP can look at all the customer data and see patterns that you might miss. Like, it might find that people who buy a certain brand of dog food also tend to buy a specific type of leash.
That's wild. It's like it can predict what people will want.
Exactly. And with that knowledge, pet care businesses can make special offers or bundles or even loyalty programs that are really likely to work.
So it's like BAP lets businesses personalize everything, not just what they say,
Yeah.
but the whole experience for the customer.
Right. They can create a journey that feels custom made
Yeah.
for each pet and their owner. And that's what builds loyalty. People come back for more, and that leads to success in the long run. It's about turning a simple transaction into a real partnership built on trust and shared values.
And it all comes back to that mindful AI idea, using technology not just to do things faster, but to create real connections and make things better for everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And in the pet industry,
Yeah.
where people are so connected to their animals, that mindful approach is really powerful.
So for our listeners tuning in, what's the big takeaway from our look at AI in the pet industry?
The pet care industry is about to change in a huge way. And tools like BAP are giving businesses what they need to lead the charge. By using data and personalization and mindful tech, pet care businesses can create a future where every interaction feels special and tailored to each pet and their owner.
It's a future where technology helps us get closer to the animals we love. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.